everyone, today I'll be reviewing this new series dropped today on Netflix. It's called True Story and it is starring Kevin Hart, Wesley Snipes. And when I heard about this show, name is True Story. Although you think about, oh, is this show based on a true story? So I did some research for this show. This show isn't based on a true story. But in this show, Kevin Hart is playing a comedian. So this show, like first 10-15 minutes when you start watching this show, you feel like, oh, am I watching Kevin Hart's life? Because in a real life, Kevin Hart is very successful comedian and he is making so much money in real life. He's very successful actor, also comedian. So first 10-15 minutes when you watch this show, you do feel like, is this based on real story or not? But it's actually not a real story. It's a fictional story. But in this show, he is a comedian and his brother is Carlton, played by Wesley Snipes. So before I watched this show, I thought this show is going to be a little bit light-hearted, I imagine, because starring Kevin Hart, at least I thought it's going to be a little bit light-hearted, entertaining. You know how Kevin Hart's movies are. But in these days, Kevin Hart, he's trying out little serious acting, and he's doing many serious roles. Like recently there was another movie he did on Netflix. He was really good in that movie, but for me personally, I wish he was doing his comedy bit because I really like him on those. But it's not it doesn't hurt either to try out some serious acting also. But unfortunately, whenever you're watching Kevin Hart, you can't separate the comedy from him because he's such a good comedy, a charming person on screen. So in this show, you see him, he's playing really serious in real life. Some of the scene, I feel like he was a little bit overdoing it because he's trying so hard to be a serious person. You do feel it. He's trying too hard. That means I absolutely loved Wesley Snipes in the show. Honestly, Wesley Snipes is one of my favorite actors from 90s. His movie Demolition Man, of course, Blade, many other movies I have seen him. I always loved Wesley Snipes. But in between, I think he was doing something or he took a break. So after that, he came back and did Dolomite My Name. He was really good in that movie. He recently did another movie also on Netflix. So I'm glad he's doing more movies. So in this movie, he actually looked very different because he's a little bit old now. For me, in my mind, I keep thinking about his younger face, you know, the Blade face. How do I say this? So he looks a little bit older here. He's playing Kevin Hart's older brother. Although his character, you're not supposed to like him. But Wesley Snipes, he's such a good actor. I really liked him in this show a lot. I thought he was so good. Although his character is really, like, you're not supposed to like him. But I really liked him. Also, I liked his character because you don't know what he is doing next. Although he's, at the first episode, I must say the first episode for me, because the first episode, the way it was set up, you see Kevin Hart, he's a comedian, his brother is not successful, there is some relationship, you know, he's always asking money from him, and there's some tension between these two characters. So where the story goes from episode 1 to 7, unfortunately, the huge twist for this show, you do see it coming. Even I was thinking in episode 1, the twist, that is what probably happening. Not that I didn't mind finding out the twist or anything. I thought the way, again, the episode 1, I did not see all this thing was happening too much. But again, although it was so much thing was happening at once, but I don't know why. I felt like episode 1 felt a little bit dragged a lot. Because something happened at first, then something else happened. That means I really liked Kevin Hart, how he didn't give up the thing he was fighting for in this show. Overall, the show, that's why I didn't like what he did end of this series. I will go to the spoiler in a minute, but I feel like this show, it wasn't a great, like, well-made show. Like, some of the dialogue, you're like, oh, what are they saying? Some of the stuff, they always doesn't make sense, come together really well. it's not very well made show, but however, this actor, they may really make you like the show. How do I say this? Because some of the scene, it do feel like what is happening. It's very dragged. Dialogues are not really well written. How about the character on screen? You do like them, like all of them. Even like his manager, the lady was like writing his joke. She's also very good. Of course, his brother is also good. The bodyguard guy is also good. Overall, I will say, somehow, although this show's writing may not be the top level like other Netflix show, but because of these people on screen, they may really, you want to watch them, their story, what they're doing here. That is what I felt like about this show. Although I felt like, oh, I have seen this kind of show before, but still I was keep watching. I guess that is what I'm trying to say here. That means I will go to the spoiler now, because like I don't know what to say about the show without giving out the big spoiler. So spoiler warning from here on. So in the last episode, we learned that everything was set up by Carlton. So Carlton, basically, he sent this girl to Kevin Hart. So when Kevin Hart, at the beginning of the episode, if you guys like, when he come to him and say, oh, she's dead, and he's like, oh, they actually never checked her body, if she's dead or not. That time I was thinking, how come they're not checking her pulse or something? Of course, then the Billy Jane's character, he came in and he's gonna take care of the body. I think the way Billy Jane's character, maybe he did overacting to Kevin Hart, that Kevin Hart, he freaked out and he actually killed him in that episode. So my problem is the bodyguard guy. What is his name? I forgot. He toward the end of this season, like he finds out what happened here. The Carlton, he set up the whole thing, and then he just goes to Kevin Hart, and then he asks him to give him same $6 million, and Kevin Hart he just agreed to pay him. And I'm like, whoa, didn't you kill that guy? Like, you went all this trouble in the first place because you don't want to give money? Now you are like giving him the money? Like, how is that make sense? The bodyguard guy character. Also, really, when the manager guy was listening, I really thought he's gonna ask also money. Some of the stuff this shows you, like, you know, when you are rich, everybody wants money from you. It's really true. That is how in real life, honestly. That's why some of the stuff this shows you is very real, interesting, that you want to keep watching, although you have seen this kind of story before. But overall, what this show is really about is his brother Carlton. He was trying to get pay from Kevin Hart. He set up this girl to him and, blackmail him for the rest of his life so he can, keep getting all the money. I think in between, he didn't anticipate it to Kevin Hart to take action and kill that Eric guy. That is what I think that is what he didn't anticipate it. Overall, how all of this thing played out, it was interesting, I suppose. Although I had okay time watching this show, still I wouldn't say this show was like very well made show. I think it was okay made show, but it's worth checking if you like this actor. All of them are really good on screen. Anyway, that's my thought on this show. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this show, and if you enjoyed my review, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to leave your comment. Please take care.